Around the world, massive residential megastructures are redefining the limits of urban density and human habitation. From the chaotic vertical slums of Hong Kong to Japan's architectural oddities and the legendary Kowloon walled city, we're counting down the planet's largest residential buildings ever constructed. Number 20. Golden Mile. Few buildings capture post-war Singapore's ambitious transformation quite like Golden Mile Complex. Completed in 1973 at a cost of roughly $14 million, this pioneering development introduced Singapore's mixed-use concept by merging businesses, homes, offices, entertainment, and leisure spaces into a single vertical ecosystem. The project transformed a deteriorating stretch of beach road that squatter settlements and substandard housing conditions had long plagued. Designed by DP architects with key contributions from Tai Keen On, William Lim, and Gan Eng Un, the structure embodied post-war urban experimentation. It drew heavily from metabolism architecture principles originating in Japan. Its distinctive stepped, terraced form, often compared to a typewriter or cascading staircase, became an iconic example of Singaporean brutalism, standing 16 stories tall. Today, the complex is undergoing significant restoration, with its historic facade preserved alongside a new 45-story residential tower named Aurea. This restoration has sparked debate about balancing heritage conservation with commercial viability in Singapore's rapidly evolving cityscape. But Singapore's architectural innovation pales in comparison to the dark history surrounding Africa's most infamous cylindrical tower. Number 19. Ponte City. Johannesburg's skyline would be unrecognizable without Ponte City, a cylindrical behemoth that has dominated the city's architectural landscape since the apartheid era. Rising 567 feet, with approximately 55 stories, the building's hollow central core creates a massive light shaft spanning nearly the entire height of the structure. This unusual design allows natural illumination to reach every apartment arranged around the circular void in a ring of more than 460 units. Originally marketed during apartheid exclusively to wealthy white South Africans, the tower's reputation plummeted dramatically as Hillbrow declined and crime surged in the late 1970s. The building became a potent symbol of urban decay and gang violence, frequently featured in dystopian films as a representation of societal collapse. A comprehensive turnaround began in the 2000s, particularly ahead of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, with extensive renovations transforming it into stable, affordable, mixed-income housing. Today, Ponte City stands as a testament to Johannesburg's resilience and capacity for urban regeneration. Up next is China's most viral residential complex, which has sparked debate about whether a single building can truly house a small city. Number 18. Regent International Center. What happens when luxury hotel ambitions collide with China's insatiable demand for urban housing? The answer is Regent International Center, a Hangzhou megastructure that has become a global internet sensation. Originally planned in the early 2010s as a 6-star ultra-luxury hotel rivaling Dubai's finest establishments, the project was dramatically redesigned into a primarily residential complex. Its broad S-shaped form rises to approximately 675 feet across 39 stories, with a total floor area of roughly 15.8 million square feet. The structure contains between 5,000 and 11,000 apartments, housing an astonishing 20,000 to 30,000 residents within its gleaming glass and steel exterior. In 2024 and 2025, the building went viral across Chinese social media platforms, with commentators calling it futuristic and almost cinematic in appearance. critics point out that the building's sheer size creates significant challenges for waste management, transportation, emergency services, and social cohesion among residents. To back their case, they always cite the next megastructure, Hong Kong's most chaotic and culturally significant residential warren. Number 17. Chungking Mansions. November 11, 1961, marked the completion of what would become Hong Kong's most infamous residential complex. This 5-block structure, reaching 17 stories, was designed by El Hassan and Company and developed by businessman Jai Tiampo as a modern residential and commercial hub. Located in the bustling Tsim Sha Tsui district on Nathan Road, the building became notorious for fires, blackouts, crime, and poor maintenance, earning it a fearsome reputation. The complex consists of 5 interconnected blocks with a shopping gallery at ground level, guest houses above, and residential units higher up. After 2,000 significant security upgrades, increased camera surveillance, and fire safety improvements helped rehabilitate the building's dangerous reputation. More recently, community projects have renovated a top-floor unit into a shared cultural space hosting exhibitions and workshops. Today, Chungking Mansions remains a major budget travel hub, offering some of Hong Kong's cheapest accommodations and attracting backpackers, traders, and migrants from across Asia and Africa. Yet Chungking's chaotic charm is nothing compared to Tokyo's most bizarre architectural experiment, a building designed to renew itself every quarter century. Number 16. Nakagin Capsule Tower. Tokyo's Ginza district once housed one of architecture's most radical experiments, a structure that embodied Japan's post-war optimism in physical form. Architect Kisho Kurokawa designed this landmark as his boldest expression of the metabolism movement, which imagined cities as living organisms capable of growth and adaptation. The tower featured 140 prefabricated capsules attached to 2 central concrete cores, each measuring only 8 by 13 feet and containing a bed, bathroom, round window, television, and stereo. Kurokawa envisioned each capsule being replaced every 25 years without demolishing the entire structure. A revolutionary concept that never materialized. The capsules were built off-site and hoisted into place by crane, demonstrating the potential of prefabricated construction methods. Initially aimed at busy office workers, the capsules later attracted artists, designers, and creative residents drawn to the building's futuristic appeal. However, leaks, aging infrastructure, asbestos concerns, and ongoing maintenance issues plagued the structure throughout its existence. Demolition began in April 2022 and was completed that same year, ending the building's 5-decade run. While Tokyo lost its capsule tower, Bangkok gained a pixelated giant that appears to be dissolving into thin air. Number 15. Mahanakhon. Bangkok's skyline underwent a dramatic transformation when Mahanakhon arrived, a pixelated giant that has redefined Thailand's capital. Rising 1,031 feet above Bangkok's Sillon and Sathon Financial District, this structure is Thailand's tallest building and one of Southeast Asia's most visually arresting skyscrapers. Construction began in July 2011, but the project faced significant delays caused by political unrest, floods, and economic pressures that pushed completion to 2016. Its pixelated design features a spiral band of recessed spaces integrated into the glass and steel facade, creating terraces, balconies, and spectacular viewing decks. These recessed spaces provide outdoor areas for residents and visitors while creating visual interest that changes dramatically with viewing angle and lighting conditions. The lower levels contain commercial space and a public plaza, while the central section houses a luxury hotel catering to Bangkok's tourism industry. The upper floors contain the prestigious Ritz-Carlton residences, offering some of Southeast Asia's most exclusive accommodation. The building's observation deck, known as Mahanakhon Skywalk, has become one of Bangkok's most popular tourist attractions, featuring a glass floor section extending over the building's edge. Up next is Switzerland's longest residential building, which proves that density doesn't always require towering heights. Number 14. Le Lignon. Switzerland's approach to high-density housing differs dramatically from the Asian megastructures we've explored, as Le Lignon's remarkable horizontal scale demonstrates. Standing over 360 feet tall, this structure is Switzerland's longest residential building and one of the world's longest continuous apartment blocks. Construction between 1963 and 1971 addressed Geneva's severe housing shortage during the 1960s, with the complex designed as a self-contained community. Planned on 70 acres of land, its enormous linear main building extends in a slightly zigzagging form across 84 prefabricated sections. This layout gives apartments windows on both sides, providing improved light, ventilation, and views of the Rhone River or nearby green spaces. The complex includes 2 residential towers, one of 26 stories and another of 30 stories, which rank among Geneva's tallest residential buildings. In total, Le Lignon comprises approximately 2,780 flats, housing over 6,000 residents. Schools, shops, sports facilities, cultural spaces, medical services, and green areas are integrated throughout the development. Despite its age, Le Lignon remains highly desirable, with excellent transport links and a strong sense of community attracting families and professionals. But no discussion of megastructures is complete without revisiting the most densely populated urban anomaly in modern history. Number 13. Kowloon Walled City. History offers few examples of urban density as extreme as Kowloon Walled City, a Hong Kong anomaly that pushed human habitation beyond anything previously imagined. Now existing only in photographs and the park that replaced it, this remarkable place was once the most densely packed urban environment on Earth, with an estimated 33,000 people living in just 6.4 acres. Beginning as a Qing dynasty military fort in the mid-19th century, the site later became a strange political anomaly, where China claimed authority within the walls while Britain controlled the surrounding territories. After the original walls were removed during Japanese occupation, the area grew rapidly in the post-war period, with families, factories, and unlicensed businesses cramming into a labyrinth of buildings reaching 14 stories. Alleyways were so narrow that sunlight barely reached the ground, and basic services such as running water and sewage disposal were often improvised through creative but unsanitary solutions. Despite poor hygiene and overcrowding, the community developed its own informal systems of governance and commerce. By the 1980s, demolition became inevitable, as both governments recognized the public health and safety risks. Both governments officially announced their eviction in 1987, making way for the park that now stands in its place. London's most notorious brutalist tower had a similarly troubled reputation, though its story took a very different turn. Number 12. Barbican Estate. Built on a 35-acre site left devastated by World War II bombing, London's Barbican Estate saw construction begin in 1965. Construction continued until 1976, transforming the City of London's Cripplegate area from near-total desolation into a thriving residential community. Designed by architects Chamberlain, Powell, and Bond, the estate currently houses approximately 4,000 residents in 2014 flats spread across 13 terrace blocks and 3 iconic tower blocks. The towers themselves, Cromwell, Shakespeare, and Lauderdale, rise to roughly 123 meters and were among the tallest residential buildings in London upon completion. Each tower features a distinctive polygonal plan, with floors housing just 3 flats, and each has a porter on duty 24 hours a day to assist residents with security and daily needs. The Barbican is now one of the world's most celebrated examples of brutalist architecture, and was designated as Grade 2, listed for its exceptional architectural and historical significance. Beyond its residential spaces, the estate is renowned for its integration with the Barbican Centre, one of Europe's largest performing arts venues, creating a true mixed-use community in the heart of the capital. While London's tower rose from infamy, São Paulo's S-shaped marvel has become a vertical neighborhood with its own postal code. Number 11. Copan Building. São Paulo's Copan Building represents a landmark achievement in Brazilian architecture, a structure that has defined the city's modern identity since 1966. Its broad S-shaped form extends along Avenida Ipiranga across 6 city blocks, creating one of South America's most photographed buildings. Designed by the legendary Oscar Niemeyer with structural engineer Joaquim Cardoso, the project was first conceived in the early 1950s to celebrate São Paulo's 400th anniversary. Its curved facade was designed specifically to improve light, airflow, and views, addressing the challenges of building in a dense urban environment. Inside, Copan houses approximately 1,160 flats, ranging from compact studios to large penthouses, along with more than 70 commercial spaces. With around 5,000 residents, 22 lifts, over 100 staff, and its own postal code, the building functions as a complete vertical neighborhood. Although later decades brought decline and neglect, recent restoration work, heritage protection, and the reopening of the Copan Cinema have brought renewed attention to Niemeyer's masterpiece. Today, architecture enthusiasts from around the world come to experience one of Brazil's most significant modernist structures. Still, this cultural icon is dwarfed by Hong Kong's ship-shaped estate that houses more people than many small cities. Number 10. Whampoa Garden. This massive Hong Kong estate sits on land that once housed the Hong Kong and Whampoa docks, major shipbuilding and repair yards dating back to the 19th century. By the early 20th century, the dockyard had become one of Asia's busiest shipbuilding facilities, employing thousands of workers and surviving wartime bombing and Japanese occupation until the 1980s. In 1985, the area began transforming into Whampoa Garden, with construction continuing in phases until 1991. The estate includes 88 residential buildings, most around 16 stories high, relatively low by Hong Kong standards, containing approximately 10,300 flats. These units house about 35,000 residents in a community that includes schools, shopping centers, recreational facilities, and extensive green spaces. One of its most famous features is a giant ship-shaped building resembling an ocean liner, complete with decks, funnels, and lifeboats that pay homage to the site's industrial heritage. Osaka's Gate Tower building, however, proves that sometimes the most memorable structures are the ones that share space with highways. Number 9. Novy Okkervil. Russia's Novy Okkervil apartment house became an internet sensation in 2021, when aerial photographs revealed its massive scale to a global audience. Located in St. Petersburg's Nevsky district, this concrete oval contains approximately 3,708 apartments, spread across 25 floors with 35 separate entrances. Finding the right apartment is a nightmare for delivery drivers, with each section having only 4 elevators to serve hundreds of residents. One resident famously reported spending 6 months without leaving the building because it contains 7 grocery stores, 3 beauty salons, a post office, a pharmacy, and multiple cafes on the ground floor. Monthly rent for a renovated one-bedroom is approximately 19,000 rubles, making it popular with young professionals and students seeking affordable city living. The building has been described as a human ant colony in Russian media, reflecting the post-Soviet approach to housing that prioritizes efficiency over aesthetics. Despite its gloomy concrete exterior and complaints about parking shortages, residents describe it as convenient, safe, and well-maintained with video surveillance throughout. The next building takes density to an entirely different level. Number 8. Huaguoyuan Community. Guiyang's rapid growth as a technology and big data hub in southwest China necessitated this vast complex, which replaced old low-rise neighborhoods with a landscape of modern skyscrapers. Construction is estimated to have cost approximately $15 billion, transforming the area by the mid-2010s. Covering more than 3.8 square miles, roughly equivalent to 2,600 football fields, Huaguoyuan is a giant mega-complex rather than a single tower. The development includes more than 250 high-rise buildings, most of them 50 stories or taller, with some towers reaching approximately 1,099 feet. On a typical day, the area sees up to 1 million people in foot traffic, including around 360,000 residents. The community regained international attention during the COVID-19 lockdowns of 2022, when supply issues highlighted how difficult it could be to manage such a large, isolated population. Despite these challenges, Huaguoyuan continues to grow and evolve, representing China's ambitious approach to urban development. Traveling thousands of miles away, Chicago's famous corncob towers proved that cylindrical high-rises could transform urban living decades earlier. Number 7. Sillon de Bretagne. France's Sillon de Bretagne stretches nearly half a kilometer across the Nantes suburb of Saint-Herblain, making it one of Europe's largest buildings by volume. Completed in 1969, this brutalist giant rose to 97 meters with 32 stories, briefly claiming the title of France's tallest building. Its vast length of 425 meters accommodates approximately 781 units, housing around 3,600 residents, with long internal corridors serving as streets in the sky. The building gained unexpected fame as the former home of French Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault, who lived there from 1971 to 1977. Between 2011 and 2013, the complex underwent a remarkable €100 million renovation while remaining fully occupied, one of Europe's largest occupied site rehabilitation projects. Workers replaced 4,000 windows and added an aluminum second skin, transforming the building's appearance and energy efficiency. The renovation also cut a section of the massive structure to create an opening to the adjacent park and tram line, physically reconnecting the building to its surroundings. From France's longest residential building, we travel to Singapore, where a stacked village has become the world's most acclaimed high-density housing project. Number 6. The Interlace. Occupying approximately 20 acres of land with 1,040 units, Singapore's The Interlace looks less like a standard tower block and more like a giant interconnected village. Completed in late 2013, this innovative project was designed by Ol Sheeran and built along Alexandra Road. What makes this development so unusual is the way its 31 identical 6-story blocks are stacked, and arranged in a hexagonal pattern across multiple levels. Some sections reach 24 stories, while others remain much lower, creating a dramatic stepped form that generates 8 large courtyards. Elevated terraces, overhangs, and open walkways encourage movement through shared outdoor spaces and foster community interaction among residents. Greenery is heavily integrated into the design, with layered plants spread across the ground, terraces, and rooftops. The project received great international acclaim, including the World Building of the Year Award in 2015 for transforming Singapore's usual tower style into a more social and sustainable living environment. While the Interlace reimagined high-density living, China's Tianducheng took a different approach by recreating 19th-century Paris in the suburbs of Hangzhou. Number 5. Tianducheng. Officially known as Guangxia Tianducheng, or Sky Capital City, this massive luxury estate on Hangzhou's outskirts was designed to resemble 19th-century Paris. It features grand boulevards and a large replica of the Eiffel Tower, standing approximately 354 feet tall. Launched around 2007 by developer Zhejiang Wanyue, the project aimed to offer residents a taste of European-style living. However, early years saw empty streets and only about 2,000 residents by 2013, leading international media to label it a ghost town. Over time, that image began to change as Hangzhou expanded, metro connections improved, and property prices became more attractive. By 2017, the population had grown to approximately 30,000 as more middle-class residents moved to the area. Today, Tianducheng is no longer considered deserted, with families, open shops, and visitors exploring its unusual Paris-inspired environment. The development's journey from ghost town to thriving community offers lessons about urban planning, market dynamics, and the importance of infrastructure. Britain's most famous brutalist housing estate also underwent a dramatic transformation from a symbol of failure to a celebrated architectural landmark. Number 4. Park Hill Estate. Sheffield's Park Hill Estate stands as Britain's most famous brutalist housing project, evolving from a symbol of urban failure to a celebrated architectural landmark. Built between 1957 and 1961, this ambitious scheme was designed by Sheffield City Council, with J. L. Womersley, Jack Lynn, and Ivor Smith shaping the vision. The estate included 995 flats and maisonettes spread across 13 connected 13-story blocks, housing approximately 2,000 people in what became known as Streets in the Sky. Wide elevated walkways and bright color coding created communal spaces where neighbors could socialize and children could play safely away from traffic. At 32 acres, Park Hill is the largest Grade II listed structure in Europe, recognized for its ambitious post-war design. Since the mid-2000s, gradual redevelopment has transformed the estate with new homes, student housing, workspaces, and award-winning restorations. The project's evolution demonstrates the potential for sensitive urban regeneration to breathe new life into brutalist megastructures. Still, Park Hill's modest scale is dwarfed by Saudi Arabia's mega-project built to accommodate millions of pilgrims each year. Number 3. Abraj Al-Bait. Completed in 2012 after about 10 years of construction, this development is located just steps from the Grand Mosque and the Kaaba, Islam's holiest site. The massive government-backed project was built specifically to improve infrastructure for the millions of Hajj and Umrah pilgrims who visit Mecca each year. With a reported total cost of approximately $16 billion, it ranks among the most expensive construction projects ever undertaken. The centerpiece is the Makkah Royal Clock Tower, rising 1,972 feet, including its spire, with 120 stories above ground. It became the world's tallest clock tower and the tallest building in Saudi Arabia. The complex includes 7 interconnected towers, with enormous clock faces among the largest ever built, visible from great distances. The illuminated design and the crescent-topped spire make the structure one of modern Saudi Arabia's most recognizable landmarks. However, it has faced criticism for its impact on the historic character of the surrounding area. The scale of Abraj Al-Bait is awe-inspiring, but Hong Kong's Amoy Gardens demonstrates how high-density living can carry significant public health risks. Number 2. Amoy Gardens. This private Hong Kong housing estate was built on the former site of the Amoy canning factory in Kowloon Bay. Construction was completed in 4 phases between 1981 and 1987 by Hang Lung Properties. The estate includes 19 residential blocks with 4,896 units and houses approximately 10,000 residents. The estate later became widely known for its tragic role in the 2003 SARS outbreak, when it became the center of one of Hong Kong's most severe clusters. Hundreds of confirmed cases were linked to Block E, and investigators discovered that drainage and sewer problems had allowed contaminated air to circulate through the building. The outbreak led to quarantine measures, evacuations, deep cleaning, and long-term plumbing improvements that have since become standard practice across Hong Kong's housing estates. The incident prompted significant reforms in building maintenance standards across the city, highlighting the critical importance of infrastructure in preventing future public health crises. From health crises to ultra-luxury, the next megastructure represents the opposite end of the residential spectrum, where 179 condominiums cost billions. Number 1. Central Park Tower. New York's Central Park Tower is the tallest residential building in the Western Hemisphere and the tallest purely residential skyscraper in the world. Its residential floors begin around the 32nd level and rise to a roof height of 1,550 feet, with 98 stories above ground. The project was completed in 2020 at a cost of approximately $3 billion, taking 6 years from groundbreaking to final occupancy. The residential area includes only 179 condominiums, with large spaces designed to maximize privacy, exclusivity, and panoramic views of Central Park and the Manhattan skyline. Many units feature high ceilings, private lifts, and in some cases, staff quarters, offering the ultimate in luxury living. The lower floors are occupied by the Nordstrom flagship store, a major retail presence that serves both residents and the general public. The building's engineering involved complex structural solutions to achieve such height, while maintaining the slender profile that makes it so visually striking. Central Park Tower has become a symbol of New York's enduring appeal to global wealth. However, it has also faced criticism for exacerbating inequality in a city where affordable housing remains a pressing concern. Thanks for watching. Now, check out the videos popping up on screen for more unbelievable stories.